Alrighty, hello and welcome to the SpyParty PAX Invitational Day number 6. Joining me today on cast is Pwned Noob.
Good morning. It's early.
It is early, I know. We're going to cram today and try and get the entire bracket finished off, which we'll pull up on screen here. Our first match is actually going to be the final round of 8 due to some technical difficulties last night. They played it this morning, just a little bit ago, so we're going to do a replay cast of that. That's going to be down on the bottom side of the bracket there, Tflameee versus Yeesh. The winner of this match will actually go on to play Pondoob next.
Yep, I only offered to cast this because I need to do some scouting. I'm not going to be watching this morning if I don't cast it, so let's do it.
Pwned with
Hopefully
the
it's a quick
ulterior
set.
motive. No surprise there.
Hopefully it's a quick set so I can go back to bed.
Yeah, after that, right after this, we're hoping to jump straight into Lazy Bear versus Opie Wrights Live, and then we'll have our third place match in our grand finals. So let's take a look at the draft, pulling it up here. OBS taking forever. Perfect. So we're going to have Yeesh banning out Balcony, while Tflameee is going to ban out Gallery. A restriction of Tan coming through for Yeesh, while Tflameee is going to restrict Library. We're then going to have Yeesh doubling Ballroom, while Tflameee ends up doubling, I believe it's going to be Redwoods. Yep. So Tflameee going with the Redwoods pick. I know that he's been talking about that, but he was a little bit worried as it seems that some of the players in the competitive scene are really getting used to the venue. Yeesh going to follow up the Redwoods double with a single of his own on Aquarium. And to round out the draft, Tflameee is going to single High Rise.
I think if you're comfortable with Redwoods and you see your opponent banning Balcony and Tan,
Mm-hmm.
they've clearly signaled to you that they don't want to play the less friendly maps. Now, Redwoods and Balcony are completely different monsters in every way, shape, and form. But Yeesh clearly looking for a sensible match with Ballroom, Aquarium
Right.
less so, and T-Flame looking for as much shenanigans as possible. High Rise definitely on the more shenanigans and less shenanigans list, though
Mm-hmm.
he could have also chosen to play Tan if he wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty typical. T-Flame in this matchup on paper, I think, is considered to be the underdog. He is the lower seed, and competitively, he's in a lower division than Yeesh in the SCL. So it's something we often see with the underdog, trying to pick some of those venues that are a little more kind of high risk, high reward, a little more swingy, which does tend to be kind of your Redwoods pick, your high rise pick. So should be interesting. Let's see what happens. I've got the first game loaded up. Pwned, let me know if you're ready.
I do too. It's looking at T-Flame Redwoods.
T-Flame on Spy, Redwoods as Leopard or Rocker as we call her.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Three, two, one, playing it. I'm gonna turn you up a little bit. So starting out at the books, T-Flame goes for the cheesy single inspect while standing. Um, Redwoods is the only venue that has this feature right now where you can actually inspect the statues without picking one up by standing at the pad, at the book pad, and that allows you to get it without even taking out the book. So it's just a standing inspect. We did see, I think, Ligorov do the same against Lazy Bear. It looked like he went to bar, and did he go for the delegate trick, or did he just straight out reject?
We'll find out in a moment. The nice thing about the bookcase inspect cheese is that you can basically guarantee you can do it every round of Redwoods if you want to. You just start the game, and no matter where you are, I mean, maybe if you're over in this conversation, it's a bit far away, but you can get it to that bookcase within the 5 seconds and makes it still chaos time.
Right. Yeah, the only issue is that if it starts becoming so common, people are really going to start looking for it. So it'll be interesting to see how the meta of Redwoods develops, kind of with that new strategy really being shown quite a bit here. Goes for a contact, ends up netting two, three lowlights to Yeesh.
Which on Redwoods is pretty good for the spy. You can have pretty bad contacts and see the low lights not go off. Uh, two, three, not terrible. T-Flame's making good pace here. Redwood's the time can slip away from you, but he does have a lot of good half missions, especially with the inspect in pocket. Taking a delegate here would do that. He's not even taking the delegate, he's just rejecting the drink entirely. He's got better plans. He's going for the flirt, and it gets canceled.
Yeah, and another important part of that banana bread that happened was that T-Flame momentarily took a neutral light, but then took a highlight when he went back to bar.
Okay, the green bookcase is presumably where we want to be at the end of this game, and we could have also been there next to the seduction target, but Tflame deciding against that, perhaps for good reason. It would have been very suspicious if we were seen chasing and doing inspects. Uh, Showing a bit of caution here in game one, which we might not see throughout the whole set. And here we
And
go.
yeah, stepping into green to finish out his inspects. Pacing is going to be a little bit tricky here. He's going to have inspect done. I would venture to think that he actually needs to take this book and drop it in red. Seduction target joins us. Luckily, T-Flame had inspected the left statue first. He's going to finish up, and he's going to land the green action test. So we've got inspect complete. We've got flirt almost done, but only 28 seconds left on the clock. I think T-Flame needed to take that book out. Probably going to go for a crash bug. Let's take a look at Yeesh's perspective. Maybe a
He's
wrong
not in
arm exit.
range here just yet.
And we are blessed
Seduction
again.
target paid off. You could not ask for more. We can either take the bug or we can run over to the contact. It looks like contact might even come to us. Everything's
We've
very
got
far.
contact already. It had to be the bug. He goes for the wrong arm bug on exiting the conversation. Yeesh realizes he needs to take the shot, pans through the trees, and takes the shot onto T-Flame with only a few seconds left. Wow.
Good players beget good plays. T-Flame puts the strain on Yeesh, makes him make a decision, and as usual, Yeesh is good at making decisions. Really wondering, I think the biggest interest here is did Yeesh have any hint of the early inspect? He did get an early highlight,
Right.
so it feels like it might have been caught, and that sort of thing is gonna get you get you through this game. But it did not look like Yeesh was confident on that shot.
Yeah, I agree. Taking a look, he was kind of panning back and forth even before. He had the opportunity to shoot T-Flame and didn't take it. And here at the last kind of overtime seconds, he goes left and right and left and right. You know what? It actually looks like maybe he was trying to find a shot between all of those trees, but there wasn't enough spacing, so he said, "All right, I've got to just move all the way left to catch him."
Good stuff.
Yeah, good shot by
Both
Yeesh.
players. If we can get a lot more of these types of games, we will match some of the really interesting sets that we've seen so far. It's gonna be Yeesh playing a classic. He's on Twin, and he likes his twins playing today.
Yeah, Yeesh normally liking Blink Twin, so let's see what happens here in three, two, one. Playing it.
So one of the things that we've seen more recently has been blinks. Blinks are something that happens at the end of a lot of the statue
Allegedly.
animations. Allegedly. No, they're true. And Twin has become a lot more popular in games with against T-Flame or against someone like myself. Uh, I checked the replays against Rob, and just like every game was a Twin game because he's one of the characters who doesn't blink every time. It's hard for the sniper to shoot for this very obscure minor etiquette break.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting kind of etiquette to look for because the sniper has to divert so much attention to it. You often have to zoom in close on their face to see it. Um, so it means they could be missing quite a lot.
Especially on redwoods, right? So all
Yeah.
the statues are front facing. Oh, this is very forward from Yeesh going statue to statue.
When did he get
Uh,
bug?
I don't know. Does T-Flame know? That's the real question. Like, we can miss bugs all we want. Uh, no, he did a like a walking bug. He kind of mugged him. He slowed down his momentum with his own path, and then got a double walking bug because him and the ambassador were both walking. Uh,
It's very aggressive from Yeesh so far. He goes statues, he gets inspects, he's got a bug, he jumps into that convo and talks pretty quickly. Going for the white contact now,
Banana
he's
bread.
really just not wasting any time.
yeah. So On Redwoods, to see an AI do three individual statues is going to be pretty rare.
Yep.
That they're also in for the talking contact is also going to be pretty rare. Yeesh is going to have to rely on Tflame's skill to get away with this because if Tflame has any lack of confidence, if he thinks that a bug might have happened that he absolutely didn't see, uh, then he might end up shooting Yeesh anyways. That did happen. So it's going to be a bit of humbleness, a bit of just hoping that T-Flame thinks he's good or too good to miss a bug on
Right.
Redwoods, which is a big ask.
Yeah, and I don't think that's with. I don't think that fits T-Flame, right? Like I think his the like personal opinion of himself is that he definitely could miss a bug on Redwoods, and very may well credit that to one or more players. So I think with Yeesh going for the triple inspect on single statues, it's really just banking on hoping the sniper misses some of them, right? Just because Redwoods is so chaotic, it is very possible to miss someone going to one of these front-facing statues kind of out on the corners.
Uh, we got 30 seconds left. We're not going to be finishing Flirt without an absolute miracle, which we did see for T-Flame. He was also in a bad position on Flirt.
Right.
With contacts, very obvious because we never actually
And
did
in
get the
red.
real contact.
Oh, that ended up being a fake. Did DA bail on the first one?
Okay, Yusha's in a spot here. What's the last mission going to be? He's trying to force
Flirt,
down
time
Flirt.
ad.
That's very...
Safety off
Wheels is
toggle on
getting flashed
wheels.
on. Is this going to be close enough? If seduction target leaves, we lose. That's true. Um,
He's gonna have the time ad. Is he really going for this without? Oh wow.
wow. What an absolute monster play. The shot's going to come off, but it's not going to be on Yeesh. He finished that last Flirt with point 0.6 seconds, and it could not have been any closer. Like, if he didn't time the leave from the window correctly, we either end up with our seduction target still being on cooldown, not willing to give us any more love, or we just don't make it to the conversation and get the Flirt off. But Yeesh, with his over 10,000 games, just knows it intrinsically what he needs to do at the end of this game.
Yeah.
This is a very risky play. I think almost any other player would have taken some other mission, taken a swap
Or
or
time ad
run to
there.
the bar, or just time ad. The nice thing about like if you do a time ad there, particularly a green time ad, is ending on Flirt after a time ad is very rare.
Right.
Usually the reason you're doing a time ad at the end of the game is because you need to do multiple missions. Uh, and to note, I mean, he did also, yeah, these were both white tests. Like he didn't need the green test. Like this wasn't as absurd as it could possibly be, but it was
The
pretty
green
absurd.
test the green test may have actually been needed purely for timing, right? Because you're going to get a green test probably faster than you would a white. Like it's going to trigger that you've actually done the mission faster than doing a white. Because
Yeah, I
could
mean,
be sooner in the
of
bar, and I've always felt that it actually goes off faster as well, like when you hit a white versus when you hit a green. But I think I've been wrong about that.
I, this kind of points away from that. Of games that I've casted, I mean, I've casted more absurd finishes
Hmm.
or more absurd games, but of moments in a game, this is absolutely insane that Yeesh decided to go for this and pulled it off. And he's gonna get rewarded with a win on this board, on a tough map of Redwoods.
Yeah, he's up 2-0. Let's see if T-Flame can answer back with a win on Queen as Spy in 3, 2, 1. Playing it?
Yeah, you were texting me half an hour ago going, "Hey, can you cast?" And I'm like, "Dude, I'm in bed. I'm awake now. This has gotten me pumped for this set. It's got me pumped for Spy Party. We're doing the fireplace time ad.
I
My
hate it.
man.
I hate it.
I Yeah, this is how you die, by the way. This is one of the worst windows. We
It's
call
so
everything.
good. Like it's such a good spot that everyone knows to look for a time out there.
Yeah, but unlike say like the veranda back right window,
Yep.
which is very popular, uh, but you can also just sometimes be unseen. Uh, on Redwoods, like everything's kind of sometimes. It should not be returning this, by the way, T-Flame. He's getting a yeah. Okay,
Almost.
Yeesh almost rewarded him for bad behavior. You can see
There's
that
the bug.
fireplace. Here we go.
There's the shot. Yeesh on top of it.
Yeesh up 3-0. Wonky game. Doesn't look like he necessarily caught the time ad. Almost rewarded him for returning a briefcase he shouldn't have, and then catches what is a failed bug anyways. The bug
Failed
didn't stick, so
reverse.
it's
Yeah. Lazy Bear with a good point in chat that good thing Flirt was first on the action priority list. Checker just yesterday changed some of the action priorities, and that could have been a decider for Yush because as of the previous patch, I think Fake Contact would have came up first in the list when he joined that conversation rather than Flirt. So
we can
Checker,
talk why that's a great thing. But
yeah.
let's watch Pearls while we do it in 3, 2, 1, planet. So it's kind of a double-edged sword for the majority of the. Oh God, the bug stuck. That
Um,
he was so far away.
yeah, I was on Spy View, but I quickly switched over to Sniper, and the laser was right there.
Yeah, so this is one of those bugs where it's much harder to catch a bug when it doesn't stick. You just the threat the threat nation of the ambassador is what often triggers your ambassador protection protocol.
Hmm.
And that was he started the bug far away. He barely got into range and then turned around. Just another pure execution test by Yeesh, just knowing this game and knowing his character really well. And doing that with Pearls, who's not a usual speed, is also quite impressive. Back to the fun conversation, because we got a 34% flirt.
Hmm.
Um, for the majority of players aren't us. They aren't these players with 10,000 games playing competitive
14.
games at, whatever. Um, at whatever, like 8 o'clock in the morning, like these guys.
True.
They are new players and they're playing with their friends, and they sometimes don't even get to standard mode. And my favorite thing about new players is they love to click buttons and they love the word banana bread. And when fake banana bread is the top thing, it means that they do a lot of banana breads. So we're gonna see less banana breads from new players. Purloin went off, by the way. But we're also gonna see maybe people actually learning how to and finishing flirt.
Banana bread.
Okay, this is a fake banana bread, but the SDA is in conversation. This might trigger a shot, and it might trigger a shot on us. The laser's being lined up. T-Flame
Wow, what a
makes
shot.
the beginning of a comeback.
Yeah, I was really not expecting that. I mean, it looks like he got away with the bug. Let's take a look at the replay on the bug here, and I guess he just figured out. Yeah, he's looking right at this. I think T-Flame probably suspected that bug there, just didn't highlight for it. It was maybe saving his highlights for statues or something of that nature. It looks like he has a pretty good eye on the delegate as well.
The nasty thing about this banana bread too is the person that we sent, being another twin, uh, went into conversation with the real DA immediately. Like this banana bread's just really strong. There's people outside of conversation, but they don't matter. They're not the people who could have done the purloin. And T-Flame just decides to take the shot here now. Really, like, especially with the banana bread in pocket, Yisha's ability to hit greens and get early flirts.
Yeah, you've
If you
got
have
to.
any suspicion of the bug and it's redwoods, you probably should.
Yeah, and
Uh,
he had Purloin showing, so the shot makes sense, especially because Salmon was an SDA, which Yeesh probably did not know at that point. But from T-Flame's perspective, that could be Yeesh getting real contact as Pearl, so he's just got to take the shot.
yeah, I wonder if this result's the same if Salmon was not
Wasn't?
the SDA.
Yeah, could have
Say
been
it was
drastically different.
someone else.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at what happens on Yeesh's doubled pick. So that was actually T-Flame's pick, and Yeesh goes up 3-1. So let's see if T-Flame can pull some wins here on Yeesh's pick of Ballroom in 3, 2, 1. Playing it?
Yeah, so the problem for T-Flame, is he's still not hitting his bugs this morning. The problem with T-Flame is you don't want to be in a situation against Yeesh down when you're already past the best map for you. So Redwoods is good, and you picked it. Now we're gonna have not necessarily bad maps for the spy. Like Ballroom, Aquarium, and High Rise are all actually pretty even,
Yeah.
statistically. But you don't want to get into a sniper fight with Yeesh because you're just going to lose that the majority of the time, no matter who you are. If you already are down.
Yeah.
What?
Yeesh shooting for what I would assume is improper briefcase etiquette. I guess that's probably,
It's the only, I mean, it's the only reason, right? Unless he
yeah.
also thought he saw the bug
He
earlier.
thought he saw the bug for sure because he highlit before briefcase. He highlit before briefcase after T-Flame had stopped on the pad, and then taking a look. Let's rewatch some of the briefcase etiquette here real quick. There must have been. And I'm not a good resource on determining if it was good or bad, but
Smallman being in the conversations being mentioned by chat, and while I
oh
don't
yeah,
particularly
that's an
care for
anti-tell.
the, yeah, it's considered an anti-tell. I don't particularly care for it because it's the sort of thing I expect to be changed in the future anyways. But it's really, I think this is, I caught you for the bug and I'm looking for any excuse. I don't think this is, I'm
Sure.
willing to shoot for briefcase anti-tells all day.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's used as a confirmation. It's not something that you're. I mean, some people are on the lookout for because it's extremely powerful, as seen here. But if if an AI were holding this briefcase and they were standing on this pad with Smallman, Smallman would not be able to talk to them, but because it's the spy, you can actually talk while holding the briefcase in this conversation. So Smallman starts his talk animation, and this confirms to the sniper with 100% certainty that Boots is the spy. Yeesh takes the shot. Good catch by Yeesh if that's what it's for.
Yeah, if we should go bug report that again. Need to remind checker.
Yes.
We
I
got
think,
Yeesh.
does that take us to 5-1?
You're in charge of the scoreboard, mate. Chat. Does that take us to 5-1?
I think that takes us to 4-1
Yeah, that sounds right. I think
because
this
that
was
was our
our only our
first.
first game ballroom.
That was game 5.
Yeesh was up 3-1. He
Hmm.
takes a nice shot there very early, but he's just trying to get this set over quick and done. I don't disapprove of it. Now playing queen, and we'll do it in 3, 2, 1. Playing it. Okay, Yeesh, where are we going? It looks like he's doing what was coined as Yeesh flirting yesterday, just trying to run down the seduction target. Meeting her at statues, though, would be quite bold, and we decide against it. We could take a bug here, we do not.
Yeah, and on the discussion of venues remaining in this pool, while kind of Redwoods is the most swingy and a good chance for T-Flame to take some rounds, at least he's not playing something like Veranda or Library. I feel like Ballroom is pretty well balanced, where Spies definitely have a chance to win, right? I think statistically it's also the most balanced map. So at least T-Flame's not playing any venues that are heavily sniper favored. Kind of same thing with Aquarium. It's very possible to get Spy wins. So he'll still have a chance to, I think, bring some of those games back as we move forward.
Yeah, the reason that Ballroom ends up being about 50-50 is it has a similar aspect to Courtyard, where if you can get one tell past the sniper, you have the ability to complete statues in one visit.
Mm.
So you have both the ability to just get a really nasty bug and then just bug Banana Bread flirt, but also anybody who goes to middle statues, similar to going to courtyard, just any statues is going to be very suspicious and can just die on the spot if they have uh, any other suspicion. Now, the reason ballroom is even more statistically spy biased than courtyard is because of things like purloin being harder to see. If we take the purloin here, the list is hidden a bit,
Banana bread.
and we're
Yeah,
covering
good
it with
timing.
banana bread real quick. But it's a fake banana bread. I'm
Duke
wondering
taking
if we're gonna.
forever.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Yeesh. Not that he's had bad AI luck. Otherwise, his seduction target still being paid off.
So
But
T-Flame with good recognition there doesn't shoot Duke for the drink take. T-Flame realizes that he could have missed the purloin and ends up highlighting Queen, who's also holding a drink, kind of recognizing that it could have been Queen taking the drink and him missing it, with then Duke taking an instant drink after.
yeah, Yeesh had a very important decision to make. And do I sip or gulp this drink? That's
Right.
very rude and will get you shot a lot of the time. T-Flame, you feel like it?
T-Flame panning his mouse over. Seems like he's thinking about it.
That is a laser of a scorned man who does not want to lose to another walking bug. Now we're just getting very greedy.
T-Flame with a bit of a camera shake here. Missed another walking bug attempt from Queen onto the Ambassador. So he's mostly suspicious of, I think that's Bling Twin at the bookcase there. There's that safety off toggle. So maybe that mouse over was not actually on Queen and it was to watch the Twin.
Yeah, the concern here is that's also
Miss
bad,
pad.
but Are we gonna die for that?
It looks like it.
Could die for that. That will definitely die for
And
that.
there's the bug.
He's lining up a shot. He's doing it from a bit to the right side just to make sure he gets a nice angle.
Yep, going for the proper angle.
Like Yeesh only had 2 missions done, but if you're the sniper there, the banana bread came off right during the purloin. If you happen to know it's real, good for you. You tried like 3 or 4 bugs that game. Uh, there's good reason to be taking this shot here beyond just actually catching something there at the end. Yeesh was a lot more aggressive than his mission count at the top left implied.
Yep. Let's take a look what Tflame does on Alice in 3, 2,
Hold up.
1. Go ahead.
Can I get a recount?
3, 2, 1. Playing it.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Imagine if that stuck.
It's gonna take 5 seconds to get those lights sorted back out, but yeah, when you go to middle statues and you immediately get a low light, you're like, uh-oh, something's gone wrong. Doesn't look like Yeesh is taking the highlights for statues immediately, and we're not gonna be able to get our full inspects here because of Plane Twin holding the statue. We are gonna get the laser over us. It does look like Yeesh wants to feign that he is still highlighting, but he doesn't believe that T-Flame's truly worthy of his suspicion just yet.
And we didn't actually finish out the inspects there. T-Flame only managing to get 2 out of 3, but
Banana
did
bread.
pop off a 51% flirt and a quick banana bread here pretty early on Ballroom. But a decent banana bread, only 3 lowlights.
3 lowlights is what you want to see. The problem with early banana breads on Ballroom is it just makes the game easier for the sniper, and you've kind of just handed them the keys to the car. Because now they just have less things to watch. If any of those lowlights go to middle statues late, they're never going to get shot because they were out for the banana bread. The problem, obviously, with late banana breads is sometimes they're just not possible. If your double agent decides they want to go visit all the places that you wish the ambassador would go to, like statues, briefcase, bookcase, and not conversations, you've put yourself in a spot where you then have to do some other mission, and it can get very visible.
Yeah, and Yeesh possibly holding back his highlight onto Alice because he recognized that Alice was blocked by other characters there and not able to get the triple inspect without hitting a third cycle in the animation.
Yeah, the nice thing here for doing the 2 inspects is it does leave the inspect swap play, and because we've gotten our flirts done pretty quickly, we definitely have the option. If we swap here, we're really hoping for a green, I think.
Wow, he actually goes for the swap with the ambassador standing right next to him. A very aggressive play, lands the green swap, which you definitely need. Let's see if he can pull off the swap without getting shot. I wonder if preparing to dance might be a good idea.
Yeah, so you have this spot here behind the middle
Drink take is good.
conversation, and you have Damon behind you. We're trying to get as much cover from Taft here
He
intrinsically.
sees the
Here comes
laser.
the laser.
Yeah,
Yeah, T-Flame trying to be patient, just trying to hide, but when you're really, it looks like
really
the
the
only
only
highlight.
suspect. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're trying to play hide and seek with the sniper. They have 10 seconds. Hide and seek. There are some maps you can get away with it. Ballroom, you're gonna need a bit of fortune.
Yeah, I feel like as soon as you see that laser over on the statue and then start to move, he needed to jump around and dance between Toby and Taft and all of those tall
I
characters
mean,
there.
Yeesh is a Counter-Strike player. Uh,
Hey, you
we
got to
don't
go for it.
really talk about players' ability to pop off the quick shot.
Yeah.
Though there, it is definitely, if we had stats, it would be one of those stats. It'd be like in a football game, you're like goalkeeping skill. It's like it doesn't actually matter until it does. Until your goalkeeper gets injured or Slappy Davis starts dancing on you, uh, then your quick shots matter. Uh, Here, it's another win for Yeesh, and we're getting close to this set being over if T-Flame doesn't start really taking the reins. What's the score?
We're actually at 5-2 right now.
Yeah, okay. And so it's first to 7 because
First to
it's an
7.
SCL
Yep.
like set, and we've got Yeesh on Disney in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, T-Flame really needs this point here. I mean, he needs every single point he can get, but he doesn't want to put himself on match point. I think just being in the position where your opponent only needs one more game and then you lose is so detrimental to your mindset as you progress through the venues. So T-Flame really needed to pull out a sniper win here so that he doesn't have to deal with that thought heading into the next map.
Yeah, I mean, we got maps that, uh, as we said earlier, can get spy wins, but it's gonna be also just a matter of momentum. Like, it's quite easy to imagine just being a bit frustrated, making slightly worse decisions, and slightly worse decisions in Spy Party compound to games. This game is very, very marginal, especially at this level. Cute little dance here just to call Toby over. And quick reject. It's going to be really just very suspicious if it's caught, but harder to catch because we did it so quickly. No reject chain, unfortunately for Yeesh. It looks like T-Flame's onto the Purloin, highlighting Alice. Are we going to also get ourselves a highlight, or has Yeesh gotten away with one?
Yeah, it looks
Flirt
like Yeesh may have gotten away
before...
with it. No highlight yet. Just getting the flirt done, stepping into green.
Oh, no. Yeesh making maybe not even like a conscious decision. Maybe he just wanted to flirt. But he did have his hands full when the Purloin lights came off, and that might have given him a bit more of a push to being a Purloin low light along with most of the rest of the party. Now we can just finish inspects, flirt.
Yeah, there's the
We're
swap.
not doing that. We are going for a green swap. Uh,
So
and
he,
both the people who we wish would grab this have drinks in hand. It's gonna be another low light who picks up. This is very aggressive, and I think Yeesh is playing like he is high suspect when he's already got a low light. He doesn't know that the laser
Banana
cone
bread.
popping over him was for the low light.
I read that as him knowing that he's a low light.
You don't swap there. You surely don't swap there. Swap is one of the few ways you lose as a low light consistently. We're back here for the flirt. Just get it off. It's gonna be game. That swap is gonna confuse the heck out of T-Flame though in the next
Hmm.
3 seconds, and it's gonna put Yeesh on match point.
With the
DM
DM.
red microfilm walk away. You gotta love it. You don't gotta love it. You can also hate it, but you gotta at least have some sort of feeling about it.
Some kind of feeling. Yep, so Yeesh
Yeah.
putting himself at match point 6-2. Let's hop into the next one for timing's sake. We're going to have T-Flame on Sorry, assuming you've got that ready.
hmm
3, 2, 1, playing it.
So we could be here for 10 more seconds. We could also be here for quite a while if T-Flame is an absolute high-rise god and also Aquarium. Both maps where if you're looking for a comeback, sure, but Yeesh is not a player you want to be doing a comeback against, and you don't want to be doing a 4-game comeback. It's a big ask. T-Flame here on Orange Dress, at least we'll take the 51% flirt. I'm wondering if he's going to turn up the boosters or slow it down a bit here as maybe a bit of a mix-up.
Yeah, high rise just really offering the potential for civilians to get shot. With the required mission count being only 3, there are AIs that tend to show 3 missions complete in the sniper's perspective, so they have to look for a little bit more behavior, look for a little bit more flirt tracking to try and determine who the spy actually is.
Okay, it's not going too quickly here. Not that we have too many options. One of those things that always comes into discussion is what's your seduction target doing? And if the seduction target's doing a bunch of briefcases and just making sure that they're not going to be able to be flirted with, at least they are getting fingerprints. Unfortunately, with fingerprint off here, it doesn't truly apply. Purloin is on. Do we want it? We are just taking another innocent drink. T-Flame's playing it slow.
Yeah, T-Flame playing it safe, knowing that, a possible white purloin here is just death and then he loses the match. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for some type of frame. Um,
Do we know who it'd be on? Because it looks like Queen is going to be
Smallman.
high on that list. Smallman's also a highlight and is definitely trying to bug right now. Don't
Yep.
tell me otherwise. Big 2 green flirt. This means we can just stop talking for the rest of the game if we want to. We're acting like we've been interrupted and some other person was talking. This would be a bug setup potentially.
Yeah,
You get
Tflame
mad.
really hitting the flirts that he needs, right? Getting a lot of green flirts. Going to the kind of spy pad, I think, is I've heard you call it. Maybe it was you. It's a very suspicious pad to go
It's
to.
coined by Wodar. I'm gonna give Wodar the credit
Okay.
on this. But it definitely is the launch pad for a lot of action.
Mhm.
Because you don't want to get stuck in a conversation. It looks awkward to walk out of a conversation, and the windows are quite far away.
And we've
Banana
got
bread.
a, yeah, I was going to say, probably now a good time for contact. We have a lot of people in with the reel. The second conversation isn't filled up, but you definitely take the chance there. And we get a civ shot onto Queen. I wasn't looking, but I assume that that was not a mistake. Yeah,
That
so
was, yeah, middle statues, queen, banana bread, and then either assuming or having someone credited for the flirt. Maybe T-Flame actually did a bit of ingenious play here by standing next to queen. Maybe we were the potential seduction target in Yeesh's mind. Either way, it's one of these games where I think it really did look like a one or two suspect game. It's either Smallman or Queen, and if you don't think it's Smallman, then it has to be Queen. I think if there were more suspects, if like everybody had been to middle statues, maybe uh, you don't actually end up doing this shot.
right. Yeah, so T-Flame managing to stay alive. We'll see if he can get a sniper win here with Yeesh stepping in his Bling Twin in 3, 2, 1. Playing it.
Okay, here we go. So instead of watching anything reasonable, T-Flame's just watching the bouncing that's happening um, near the painting pad. Ooh, that looked like a bug. That looked like a big bug. I'm hoping that T-Flame did not overly credit it, but it looks like he just wants to sit here and watch Morgan Freeman put the book back into the bookcase, or walk away with it in this case, and not all the shenanigans that could be happening.
Yeah,
What is the setup on missions, by the way?
I don't hate his rotation over here to ensure that the ambassador's not being bugged. It is a non kind of current meta mission layout. He has swap, inspect, and purlane off. Typically, you see transfer microfilm off as well. Oh, this is Yeesh. And that could also be part of the reason that T-Flame was rotated around to watch Kane at the book there, right? He's got a camp microfilm, which I would be surprised if T-Flame doesn't even know that microfilm is on, because this is a very non-traditional high-rise setup.
Given the absolutely wacky laser position here from T-Flame, I would imply that he does. Red dress here going to statues, literally
Doesn't
nothing.
matter.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter because the swaps are off. Here, Yeesh is not getting this fingerprint that's on this book, but Ambassador was also here earlier, so this does end up being a fingerprint, and it looks like T-Flame might even just be watching the animations. Very rude, because he's definitely not watching the left side of the party, which is usually where we see our snipers keep their laser. More interested in
Yeah,
preparing themselves
there's not
for.
much threat on the left side, right? Like swap isn't a thing, purloin isn't a thing, microfilm certainly is, but they're not going to get away with microfilm unless they also do something at green. So T-Flame could reasonably just camp the right side as long as the ambassador is over there.
Yeah, I've seen like more of a 4 of 8 high rise, which is another popular setup for this map. I've seen people choose a bookcase that they particularly want to care about. For me, it's usually I'm not going to let you do the microfilm at blue, but you can have all your fun at
Hmm.
the green bookcase, or I don't really care. It looks like T-Flames decided if you're going to be doing this microfilm, and why would you not do it if you put the mission on? I'm going to need you to do it at the green bookcase. You can take your blue one for more or less free.
Yeah, and Kane really just acting suspicious here, spending a lot of time at that Wodar spy pad. And it looks like he's stepping in possibly to pick up a second fingerprint. Yeah,
Okay, so this ambassador's now been to this bookcase 3 times. So T-Flame should also be on it.
and the
This is,
shot taken. Wow,
yeah, the
that's impressive.
the problem with this shot is Banana Bread hasn't actually been said yet, I don't believe.
Yeah, he might just be
Uh,
crediting Bug, and against Yeesh, not a
so
terrible assumption.
it's not that like true kosher, okay, you're done with these missions, unless you also haven't are afraid of a bug, which he has been near the ambassador a few times. Um, but particularly here, someone doing 2 fingerprints at the same bookcase. Like, if that's an AI, you're very unlucky, and I don't hate the shot on like a behavioral sense. Like, this makes sense.
Yeah, a fantastic shot by Tflame to clinch it out and stay in the set. Moving on to the next venue, which is going to be Aquarium. He needs a spy win to stay in here. This is a first to 7 match, and we should actually be at 6-4, not 6 to 31. Let's see what Tflame does in 3, 2, 1. Playing it.
Yeah, the high-rise pick was T-Flames too. Like, that was his decision to have that wacky laser. That path's not legal, by the way. Um, and we saw a very interesting laser position from it. Really the most valuable thing from the high-rise pick, though, is it baited Yeesh into weird mission setup, and I think T-Flame was the victor out of that. Where are we going, T-Flame?
Yeah, Aquarium, a very unique venue. There are a few that have different occlusion setups. Aquarium, as you can see, has a giant shark that does pass at a predictable rate. It does a certain pattern, so we've seen players learn that pattern. You'll see the spy kind of looking at the shark
Banana
and trying
bread.
to determine where it's going to be, and you can actually hide behind it to do things, and you also cannot be shot behind it. T-Flame popping off contact here on Aquarium. It was an okay contact, quite a few people out, and only 2 of the conversations pretty filled up.
Yeah, so we do have the highlight for the, I assume real. We may also have just been a posthumous. Well, I saw you at statues, and I should probably pin you down now before I forget which twin you are. Get away with murder.
Sure.
The problem for T-Flame is we don't have any flirt done. Things like inspect swap at back statues or with some shark blockage are definitely on the table, but we need our 4th mission. And with 0% completion, it's not going to be anytime particularly soon if it's going to be flirt.
Yeah,
Banana
and that
Just
bread.
and a
so many low
fake
res.
banana bread, which may actually be what T-Flame needs here. I'm not sure if he knows that it's a fake, but hopefully this gets T-Flame brought back down to neutral. So far, no luck, and the party is very narrowed down from Yeesh's perspective at the moment.
Yeah, I'm wondering how T-Flame wins this, because I'm concerned it's not going to be mission completion. But the problem with getting a AI shot when there's only a few suspects is the sniper can really take the time to think. When we talk about SpyParty, it's very much a thinking game, obviously. Like, everybody knows, okay, you need to be thinking, but sometimes it's really just getting inside your head. When you only have this few suspects, though, when you're looking at Wheels do this briefcase, you can watch the whole briefcase, and you can really make a true judgment, and not just go, "Oh, I saw him do briefcase. I have to shoot." This is actually really concerning for Yeesh. Wheels going and following the ambassador to the bar means he's done 2 fingerprints back to back. If Wheels does another thing, I think he's very liable to get shot.
Yeah, Wheel's definitely the frame target here, and steps into conversation and gets a pretty early talk here, which I think should raise him on the suspicion level even more. We have the safety off toggle, which is a little thing that players will do to signify to the spectators, hey, this is the person that is my top suspect among my highlights. So that safety off toggle telling Yeesh telling the cast here, I want to shoot Wheels.
Okay, so the shark is going to come back on its 2nd cycle. We're going to do the inspect first. It looks like this is a setup for a swap into getting behind shark. Uh,
Yeah, Shark goes
JK,
high.
T-Flame, shark goes high. I don't know what I'm talking about. We need to do a 4th mission, or we need someone to just die randomly. T-Flame's gonna go for Purloin. He is on this right
Five
side of the
seconds.
bar. It's gonna give us a bit more cover when the shark comes across, but our feet should be visible. Oh, the overtime shot is on Wheels for what
While
must
he's
have been a
talking.
flirt consideration.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, overtime shot onto Wheels, which is not surprising. We saw Wheels doing a lot towards the end there. Overtime beeps come off, which is when the
It's
spy
not even
finish.
overtime. He shot on point 2.
Well, I heard overtime beeps.
Yeah. But from Yushi's perspective, that uh, he was concerned that when did Wheels do his last talk.
Yeah, I don't think that Yeesh clocked that. I don't think Yeesh was probably watching Wheels at that point. But it looks like he started his talk around 5 or 6 seconds, anyways.
Yeah, he's talking at 9 seconds. Like this must have really felt like, and he did a double talk too. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay. Wheels wants to die, but uh, shooting for flirt there, we usually applaud it, right? Shooting for flirt as the
sure.
last mission is usually very impressive. Shooting an AI for talking at the end of the game, assuming it's a flirt, is less impressive.
Yeah, we are now at a 6-5 score line. T-Flame needs to shoot Yeesh here to tie it up and jump into overtime. Let's see what happens in 3, 2, 1. Playing it?
So one thing, and it's always hard to tell if T-Flame's joking or not. He's been saying, "I've been drinking for all of my games, and I've been doing quite well." This game's been played at like 7 o'clock in the morning. If these guys
He
are,
probably was drinking it. He probably was.
but like he's got to be on like he's got to be on the mimosas, right? You're not just drinking the
Oh,
straight whiskey.
he's probably on mimosas. I think he's got family in town this weekend, so he's been having a good time hanging out
Right,
there and just playing SpyParty in
pretty
between.
fun. Um, when we talk about alcohol, just conceptually, it's usually considered a bad thing, right? It's gonna make your reactions slower and your judgment's bad. And judgment is literally the whole point of this game.
Well,
Um,
I think T-Flame is more of a method actor, so he's really, trying to get into the mode of being at a party with a bar and a waiter and everything. So,
yeah, just take a drink every time that your
yeah.
character takes a drink, and you're just there, just gulping, requesting.
Yeah, every time he takes a
Uh,
drink in game, he takes a drink in real life.
One thing that T-Flame's been good at, just historically, these jokes aside, is just not collapsing to the pressure.
Yeah.
He's been outplayed before. Like he's had like Menaders and uh Lacorv both beat him this season. They're both just very good players. He's allowed to lose to good players. But it's not surprising that if someone's gonna make a comeback here from 6-2, uh, even against Yeesh, someone with the resolve of T-Flame who just doesn't really care about the moment as much as other players, he's not getting nervous here. Yeesh might be. Yeesh here with 84% flirt really doesn't have a clear plan to victory just yet. Um, Needs to not fumble this.
Yeah, T-Flame's story is a pretty interesting one as he really joined the competitive scene. Kind of the whole time he'll take it a little bit non-seriously. He'll go for wonky plays. He'll try to troll and be funny, and as you said, he doesn't really get stressed out by it. He doesn't mind if he loses. He's mostly there to have fun, but over time he's played so much and practiced so much that he now is also just good at the game. So you have someone who will kind of let stuff roll off of their shoulders, but also knows how to play at a highly competitive level, which makes for someone who can make it this far into the bracket. Doesn't succumb to the pressure.
Yeah. Yeesh just finished his flirt. Congratulations, Yeesh. Bug. Oh, that's visible. That could be game.
Yeah, but he kind of entered his idle animation right after, and to me it really just looked like his hands moving around as he entered into that idle animation. I don't know if T-Flame is going to catch that bug.
It was zoomed in on from T-Flame's side, which is why I
Banana
made
bread.
that call.
Yeah, here
It
goes
would
the roll
need to
contact.
be a shot relatively soon. There's a lot of shenanigans that can happen on Aquarium. That shark is just very big, even for a great white. And Yeesh has not eaten the highlight yet. Something like a back-facing swap or this sort of swap
Yeah,
with the expectation is
this
going to
might
be
be a
really
swap and a
hard for
shark walk.
T-Flame.
There's the swap.
Oh,
It's a
the
little
swap's
bit
too
early
early.
from Yeesh. Yeesh taking the swap too early. T-Flame lining up the shot, knowing that he has time.
Wow.
And that could have been a clear win for Yeesh. If he had just waited a few seconds more, he would have been able to walk behind the shark and not been able to be shot. Goes for the swap slightly early and is punished for it. T-Flame tying it up 6-6.
Yeah, so just looking at Yish's camera, he's not looking at where the shark is for this swap, which means he's probably just going off the clock. And the clock
Right.
on Aquarium has messed me up a few times actually when we were first starting the popularity of this sort of shenanigan. Where it's actually a 59-second clock instead of a minute second clock. for each shark cycle. So if you're practicing this sort of thing and you're doing it at 340 versus at 40 seconds, it's actually a very different shark timing, and you just need to look at the shark to get the visualization. Yeesh just, even on his dance, just not looking to get behind the shark.
Yeah.
He takes a flash at it, but he's just too far ahead.
Yeah, an unfortunate misstep by Yeesh and is going to allow us to enter overtime. Overtime in this tournament is determined. What we're going to do is a best of four on the two doubled venues, which are going to be Redwoods and Ballroom, if I recall correctly. And the player must win by two. If it ends up as a 2-2, it's reset and you play it again.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons that the picks and bans are particularly important,
Yeah,
and more importantly, the restrict. Because if you're saying a restrict, you're saying, okay, you can pick this once, and in the case here, he restricted Tayan, and Tayan wasn't picked. But you're also saying, I don't want this to show up in overtime. By restricting balcony, for example, you're not going to see a overtime balcony game, and for some players, that's all you could possibly ask for.
yeah,
Instead, we get Redwoods, which is not much better. Uh, this is a very stressful place to be right now, and T-Flame's going to be the one who gets to dive into the spy side first in 3, 2, 1, planet.
yeah. And overtime is
Oh, what
go-
an AI control.
yeah, good AI control. Doesn't go for the quick inspect without taking out the book as he did in the previous Redwood setup, though. Elects to just take the book out and go for the inspects as kind of the more proper etiquette way to do it.
Yeah, so with the AI control, this is generally what you don't want the AI control to do. Like, y-
Didn't pick
you
up both, just one.
you see a lot of people just veer away from statues, or in this case, the statue-like thing with the bookcase being able to inspect, because you get the early suspicion. Uh, the reality is T-Flame hasn't been getting highlight and has been winning a lot of these recent games with these early inspects. So it's just more par for the course for what has been working for
Banana bread.
T-Flame. So I don't really mind it, but I don't think that was really a decision that T-Flame made. He just got dragged there.
Yeah, probably too worried about doing a take control to veer away from statues because that's just it's very eye-catching from a sniper that knows to look for something like that. And a pretty early contact again here on Redwoods. He's got two inspects, a flirt, half a fingerprint. He's got good mission progress spread across the board. As long as he can continue that pacing, he's on track to finish with a soft tail game.
Yeah, so really the big thing for T-Flame is going to be keeping an eye on the ambassador and seeing how cleverly they can get their second print. If it's blue bookcase here, I don't know of it, and that means the sniper might not.
Yeah,
It
I think he
does
was
look,
just there. It's actually he didn't actually let this fingerprint cook that long. He went blue right over to that conversation, stayed in the convo for I don't know 5 to 10 seconds, and is now over at bar. So it was pretty quick. But the blue bookcase is just kind of tucked in the back, and I feel like a pretty good spot to get away with stuff.
and yeah, if Yush is on it, it's still a difficult print. It's harder to truly credit. Generally, I think someone like Yeesh would just say, okay, I believe you can get difficult. Maybe not too difficult, but at least one. This is our third inspect. We could do something like this game could be over very quickly with something like a bug dance. It's probably not going to be the way. The way is probably going to be just
Flirt
trying to
finish.
finish the flirt.
Good briefcase
Um,
and redirect. I liked it.
but this is Redwoods. This can be very spicy very quickly, and we need to be on our toes screw loose.
Yeah, and Tieflame being very respectful here by standing across from the conversation from General and not standing next to him. Yeesh, however, is recognizing the progress that Tieflame has and highlights him. Great recognition by Yeesh, and it looks like it may be for the inspect finish over there at red. I would have liked to have seen Tieflame bring the red book out as to say to the sniper, hey, I need to do something with this book to win, otherwise why would I bring it with me? When in actuality he just needs flirt.
Yeah, the problem with that is then your seduction target immediately goes to statues, and then or like the
And then you're
bookcase, and
screwed.
you're well. If he goes to the red bookcase, you're fine. You just go turn the
Yeah.
red bookcase. But um, it looks like we're gonna be doing the timer flirt here. It's gonna be a really nasty shot here from Yeesh if he takes it. The other problem is we do need to hit the green test. We do. Are we gonna get shot for the flirt? It would be a very Ooh, nope, we're distracted by red dress here with the safety off. T-Flame's gone away with another very tight game. Both players playing very well, and we saw this in game one. Yeesh got the win the first time. It's going to be Tflame getting the win on this time, but knife's edge.
Yeah, and that's another clutch green flirt in that same exact spot, right? That's the same spot that Yeesh had to get his clutch green flirt to pull out that overtime win on Redwoods before. So let's see if Yeesh can do it again, stepping in as Irish in three, two,
Hold
one.
up. It's still done. There you go.
No
One
problem.
more time.
Three, two, one. Playing it.
Oop.
Immediate take
So,
control away from the window pad there. That looked a little janky.
yep, I mean, it's Redwoods, and take controls are really hard to catch anyways. Tflame is the sort of player who probably has it in their repertoire because it's a really funny thing to catch someone for, and he likes catching his people for funny things because he's a streamer of the game like yourself. Here we go. Is it going to be briefcase first? I don't think we've seen a briefcase first game so far. This is actually quite close too.
Banana
Uh,
bread.
ooh. Yushi's going for plays. He does remember to fingerprint the briefcase. We're getting highlight for it. What a rough game. T-Flame just not respecting the brilliance of the pick up the briefcase banana bread. Make sure you hit the green test and get the fingerprint and like the split also. Like it's a very I
Hmm.
don't need a name because it's a play that exists but you don't see too often. And T-Flame either just not acknowledging it, just being so ignorant of the briefcase that he just doesn't know that Yeesh is trying to school on him, or is very knowledgeable of it and despite the trees that are hounding him, catching Yeesh for what is a very cheeky play.
Yeah, Yeesh with decent mission progress. Again, we're at 2 minutes. He's got mission progress spread among kind of three different missions this time. No inspect, so his fourth mission is going to be a little bit harder to get. It'll probably be a hard tell, maybe like Purloin or Bug.
The ambassador is also touching a few things. I saw him over at that part of the either the bookcase or the bar. Definitely at this statue. We have good finishing options. I've got hiccups now. Uh, like in a pinch, we could always just fingerprint swap. That's that statue, maybe to our death.
Yeah, possibly. Yeesh showing a bit of patience here, probably going for the timer flirt, actually ends up leaving.
That's not patience. It's not the fingerprintable statue that we are very much aware of, but it is going to be getting too early in specs. It does put like, oh, it does have a fingerprint on it. These guys are just absolutely cooking some of these prints. Uh,
Are you seeing what I see in the top where it says there's three statues inspected, but the mission isn't checked off?
no, I only have two. That's a book for you. Visual.
Gotcha.
I don't think he's been to statues, right?
Well, he was just at book.
Yeah, I mean he's done two. But and been to a statue. I'm saying.
Yeah,
You should go for a cute little redirect here instead of just going straight into the conversation. The sort of thing that, with only 40 seconds left, you really should only be doing if you think you're very high suspect.
right.
Reasonable assumption because you've done fingerprints and now inspects. But he's just looking for a bit of credit.
It's gonna have to
This
be
will
inspect
be
swap, yeah.
a very similar situation. If T-Flame doesn't just put a bull in us here, we're going to be finishing on flirt. Looks like he doesn't want to shoot for the inspect, but he could shoot for the flirt and it would be a very good shot. We're back in this spot for the third time. Immediate talk. This time, will it be the shot? Now we're going for a bit of a dance here. We're doing the
And
fifth
the
mission
BM
bug.
again.
Yeesh. Back at it. Uh, yeah, you got a little bit of a replay bug. Yeesh got a bit of a BM bug, and we get to move on to ballroom.
Yeah, so that's a 1-1 tie. If either player sweeps it here, they take the set. If they split, they replay the best of four again. Let's see if T-Flame can manage to pick up this spy win and put himself in a good position here in three, two, one, playing it.
Yeah, while this isn't live, this was played fairly recently, and I do feel for these guys because either player here is now going to be in a long set and then have to go play another relatively competent player in myself. Uh, it's going to be a long day, especially if they beat me, then they also have the finals. Um, so this is going to be a long day of SpyParty. It's going to be one of exhaustion, if particularly if they do well.
That is correct.
Banana
And
bread.
we're even going to have, I believe we're still also going
Creepy
to do third
bug.
place. goes for the BB bug standing. A great move by Tflame, and it works. It times out perfectly. Yeesh was panning over to take a look at Wheels and get the low light on him. And Tflame in a good position. As you said before, Ballroom is kind of a venue where if you can get that one hard tell through and then just try and get your inspects, you can finish out with Flirt and Contact.
Yeah, I mean there are ways around that. If you're particularly good at catching like early flirts, just catching someone doing a big 51% flirt, that can really help. But one, Yeesh only has done that against like very specific players, and also we didn't take a 51% flirt, we took a 20% flirt.
Heading in for the inspect now, if he can manage to get all three of these
You
before
hit
the
a
third
red nest,
cycle.
it's gonna be we're swapping.
A, a
We're just
swap
swapping. We're three cycling and swapping. We're just ending the game here. Yeesh is rotated for it.
breaks
What's the
animation on the set down.
Yeesh? You surely saw this. We're hiding behind Damon.
Oh
We won
my.
the game.
Oh
T-Flame.
my.
Anytime you rush on one of these slow characters, and Orange Dress I think might just be the slowest, along with White Dress there, Pearls. It's always impressive. Three cycling is illegal if you're not familiar. You're meant to put down the statue relatively quickly, and it's by the animation count. Swapping is definitely only a thing that spies do, especially just Randy like that. But BB Bug into Inspect Swap is really the quickest way to finish a game, other than like same thing with Banana Bread Purloin, and T Flame just putting the boosters on here really
Yeah.
putting the decision into Yusha's head, and as the only highlight pulls off the win. Fantastic
Yeah,
stuff.
and I feel that at that last moment, Yeesh is looking for the double walking bug on Sari rather than looking at the statues for the swap. Just looking
Yeah,
at the lineup.
watching for a bug that will never happen because we already got the bug, Yeesh. Come on.
Yep, let's see what Yeesh can do on Spy in three, two,
Huh,
one.
You, you beat me every time. Let's go.
3, 2, 1. Playing it.
They are loading very quickly. I do appreciate that. Yeesh, immediate bug before even looking at the screen, and then immediately misses pad. You take some, you lose some.
Yeah,
But Yeesh
T-Flame
has
zoomed in,
51%
luckily.
flirt, and it doesn't look like T-Flame's onto this. It's gonna be another really hard position for T-Flame. We've seen snipers being put in these hard positions, and the results being variable. Sometimes they've been making these fantastic shots, and sometimes they've just been floundering because the spies are playing really well. The reality is, Yeesh doesn't have to be overly clever here. He doesn't have to do things like take this list and counter rush his opponent. He can just chill this out. When would you want to do your inspect, Screwless?
It's a hard question. There's arguments for both sides. But with the bug being completely unsuspected, right? Sometimes you don't want to do it if you're suspected for having a bug. I think he got away completely clean during the time of chaos with that bug. So I think going in for an inspect now and finishing it up and then ending on a contact is a pretty good move. He may go for contact and an inspect. I would probably do the reverse order.
I really like this play from Yeesh. Just locking down the double agent in a conversation. Banana Bread's not good right now, and you definitely aren't meant to take it, and Yeesh is agreeing with that, just being a good player that he is. But just trying to keep the double agent from running around the map. This will also work. But just having the double agent be still, and also having the potential to just take the banana bread if and when everybody fills back into conversation. Definitely a sensible play here because you have time. You can always do banana bread purloin or banana bread into inspect statues. You can do that within 20 seconds. You don't need to rush this game.
Yeah, I do worry though because going to statues sub 1 minute is a lot more suspicious than if he had went at the 2 minute mark. And he may be putting himself in a position where he's doing one of those high value missions in the waning seconds of the match, and that is going to attract a lot of threat and suspicion from
Don't
T-Flame onto
request
Yeesh.
here. What are you possibly requesting for?
Yeesh going for the statueless game, ends up going for a white purloin. It's zoomed in on T-Flame, catches the fade. Is he confident enough to take the shot?
Banana bread.
And he is.
The banana bread's not going to help your case here, Yeesh. That's game and set and match for T-Flame. And Yeesh just getting a bit too clever for himself. I think this game was in the bag because we got the free bug. But Yeesh maybe not crediting it as free, maybe just feeling like he had to be a bit better than just doing the middle statue. But this purloin, I mean, definitely the white purloin's not the right choice. If you can hit the green, maybe it's a different story. But Well done to Tflame. He didn't do it all in a row. He did give a game on Redwoods, but he did 4 games uh, in a row to bring back from 6-2, and then 3 more in overtime. 7 out of the last 8 games, Tflame won, just showing this resolve that you really don't see too often in this community.
Yeah, fantastic comeback from T Flame. Coming back from what was it like 5-2 at one point or
6-2,
6-3?
6-2.
Yeah, an absolutely maddening comeback from T Flame. The lower seed player, definitely, I don't think anyone was expecting something of that nature. And it really his draft did pretty well. I mean, he didn't do super great on Redwoods in the first part of it, but High Rise really a saving grace for him there.
Yeah, and this happens a lot with Yeesh games, where it really comes down to the marginal stuff. It's a lot of these games were ending on finishing on flirt. And the thing with finishing on flirt is these snipers are capable of shooting for it, but it's gonna be a very touchy decision. Um, Yeesh really just going away from that, like he's making it hard for the sniper with this purloin, and he dies for it. He loses a set for it too.